It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
And a good Friday to everyone who celebrates Easter. It's a little bit quiet today on the hockey front, really. Only 2 games in the NHL. Islanders lost to Philly. Man, this is the wildest wild card race ever. Check this out. This is the latest standings. All right, you got Detroit, 88 points, the 8th spot. Senators, 88 points. Columbus, 88 points. Philly with the win over the Islanders tonight, 88 points. Not crazy. Going to come down to the wire, folks. I hope, I don't know. I hope Columbus and Ottawa make it. Islanders, Detroit, they can go bye-bye, as far as I'm concerned. Philly, kind of a cool story that they've got back in it, actually. But that's pretty wild that there's 4 teams tied for 8th spot, the last spot that there is. So it's going to come down to the wire. Up at the top here, of course, Montreal. Look at that, eh? Green, 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 green. No yellow. Good to touch the green, green grass at home. 7 straight regulation wins for the Habs has vaulted them into a, they can clinch this weekend, basically. So let's hope they win at least one of these games against Jersey. If they win both, then they're in for sure. Like mathematically, I don't think any team has officially clinched yet. And I mean, with 7 games left in the year and the first place team in the East still hasn't officially clinched, it's pretty crazy. Or maybe they have, but I know there's a 14-point spread there in Ottawa. If they, if they won out, they'd have more wins than Carolina. So presumably, the Carolina still has not clinched a playoff spot, and the first place team with 7 games left in the regular season. It's pretty crazy. Just Gary Bettman wanted parity. Well, he got it. There's no doubt about that. Canadians are now up to plus 29 on the goal differential, which is decent. I know they were hovering around 0 or not far from 0 for a lot of the year, maybe even negative for a bit. So has Carolina clinched? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's because teams play each other and it'd be impossible for all of them to win out their games, I guess. Okay, well, I mean, barely, right? Carolina. Yeah, so it's anyways, it took them till April to clinch. For the first place team to clinch this year, and that has to be a record. But anyways, I watched Laval painfully. That second period was not a pretty sight. They were, they looked to be in control. They were playing well. And then Owen Beck kind of, I don't know what he was doing. He lollygagged in front of his own net and turned over the puck. They scored. That seemed to change the momentum. 5 straight goals by Calgary in 8.5 minutes. And that was the ball game. She was as good as done. They end up losing 5-2. Didn't get any in the third period. Kakkonen got pulled after the 5th goal. He wasn't great. A couple of those goals, I don't know. Little lax. Del Gaizo, I don't know. He was getting burned there. Reinbacher actually ended up +1 on the game, believe it or not. I'll show the stats here on the here we go. Del Gaizo -3, Klerman -2. Farrell, Tuck -2, Jacobs -2. So the only defenseman that, ended up plus was Reinbacher. So I thought he played another solid game, picked up an assist, makes some really nice plays behind the net with the puck when he, trying to evade forecheckers. I just love how he's great at it. And I thought once again a solid game. I keep reading people saying, I saw Reinbacher and he struggled. I still haven't seen that game. In the past month and a half, I have not seen a poor game from David Reinbacher. And it seems to be, I don't know. I think some people just, I'm not sure if they expect him to never make a mistake, or if he does make one mistake, then that means he had a terrible game in their mind. But from a scout's perspective, when you're looking at mobility, range, one-on-one defending, puck decisions, puck carrying, outlet passes, shot, like all of the, the competitiveness, ability to box players out, all of the things that you look for in a young defenseman when you're scouting them, he checks off all the boxes for me every time I see him. So he'll be on the Habs next year. He'll be a regular, and he'll be a regular for 15 years. A very promising player. And again, it doesn't really matter. The score doesn't really matter, right? They're Syracuse, I guess, they're in a fight for first. They're not going to get caught for second, but Syracuse might end up winning the battle for first place after a game like that anyway. But again, scores don't matter all that much. It's what you see in and especially what you see in the main prospects. Josh Nadeau played his first game tonight, and he looked pretty good. I'm just looking to see if Syracuse won. They don't friggin'. This is pretty sad. It says S. I don't know if that's supposed to be Syracuse. Yeah, okay. Syracuse lost to Providence 4-2. So for now, at least, Laval maintains their 1-point lead, I think, over Syracuse, but Syracuse has a game in hand. So it's going to come right down to the wire for first place in the North Division. Now, Nadeau picked up a primary assist. His first game in the AHL. So congratulations to him. He got the puck out to Middlestat. Middlestat shot and tipped in front by Thorpe. So Middlestat and Nadeau got their first pro assists on that goal, and it was only Thorpe's third. So it was kind of and it was almost tipped by Dylan Bentley in front too. So he almost got his first point as well. Put together a line. Let's have a look at what the lines were tonight. Now, Belzile and their top two scorers out, okay. Engstrom out, so their top defense scorer, their top two scorers, and they sometimes, you pay for that, right? Dauphin wasn't playing, Belzile wasn't playing, so this was a lineup tonight. They had Blais, Beck, Farrell as top line. Beck scored in the first period. Nice play by Reinbacher to get it to Farrell. Farrell with the shot towards the net. Beck tipped it in. Beck looked really good up until that. I don't know what he was doing on that play when he decided to mosey on in front of the net there. It was just ill-advised, to say the least. Davidson played with Condotta and Roy. Tuck, Xhekaj, Mishar. And then they had the rookie line there, Nadeau, with Bentley centering and Thorpe on the wing. Middlestat, Reinbacher, top pairing. Delgaizo, Jacobs, and Trudeau, Clermont. Excuse me. So Kakinen got the start. didn't play that well. Nice bounce back from Shepherd getting he didn't let in any goals at least after replacing Kakinen. So I guess if there's a silver lining, it would be that. But anyway, not a great night for the Rocket. Calgary's going to play him again here on the weekend, and hopefully they can bounce back with a little better effort. But the guys that count, like Ryan Bacher had a solid game, I thought. Beck looked good up until that miscue, and then I don't know, he was all right, I guess, the rest of the game. Davidson, a couple of hits there. Didn't see a lot from Xhekaj tonight. Meshar had a few moments that, a couple of nice plays. Nadeau, a little bit of struggle, I thought, at the start, but as he got more comfortable, he made a few plays. Bentley, again, a half decent game. Thorpe, not bad. I thought he was going to get in a scrap there. Nice for him to see him get a tip, but they didn't end up fighting. The other guy, I think, smartly decided no, not going to do that. So, yeah, Francois, like I said, you may have just come in, but you basically repeating what I said 5 minutes ago. All the big guns out. So, Middlestat, Reinbacher, yeah, decent pairing. I mean, Middlestat was even on the night, Reinbacher +1. So certainly didn't struggle like Delgaizo Jacobs did, Trudeau Clerman. But those are the guys you wanted to play decently, and they did. So all in all, what's important is what the good prospects are doing, right? Xhekaj was a little quiet tonight. Didn't see a lot from him. Not overly physical. Kind of just an average game from him. That line. Hey, they switch up the lines all the time, right? So sometimes it can't be easy to get rhythm, I guess. But no, it wasn't. It was by no means a noticeable effort from Xhekaj tonight, and I think that's what you're kind of looking for from him is him to make his presence felt out there. And I'm going to compare him and Papanicus coming up here, because I think those two over the next couple of years are going to be 2 or 3 years are going to be vying for a center spot on the Habs. I think they ideally they want a big physical center to be on one of those bottom two lines, and Papanicus has started to warm up there. He's got 3 points now in 4 playoff games, but he's playing a third line role on Kelowna, it looks like. So I don't know, I'll get to his video here, and let's have a look at it there now. We'll get back to Laval and the Habs after that, but this is a game. He didn't get a point in this one, but I decided to feature this one. He had this is a game where he scored a goal, I believe. I featured 2 of his games here, so. But there he is on the forecheck. He's playing with Goisic and another kid. Like I say, he's basically centering the third line, so I don't know. Centering the third line in junior that's 4th place in his conference isn't a great sign that you're going to be a middle line center. And I know when I interviewed his coach couple of months back, that's what he stated was his he thought it was his NHL upside, but I don't know. In your 19-year-old year, third line center doesn't usually mean you're going to be a second line center in the NHL, if you know what I mean. But back that up again. I liked his back check on that. I'll just back it up a little more here. He shoots the puck in. I like how he comes back on this, but you can see his speed, right? He's and hey, he's the one that shot and it came back around. So when you're guilty, you have better wheels often, right? But his shot and his skating and his size, physicality are gonna be his ticket to the NHL. That's what's gonna. Here he is, down low, and again he's got to compete. And I think it's actually not a bad thing him playing a third line center role right now, because that's ultimately what he is. That's going to be hopefully his role at the NHL level is third line center, third or fourth. It's going to be one or the other. So, hey, might as well be getting. Here's his goal coming up here. He scores one on the power play. They had him on the good shot. They had him on the second power play. But that's his bread and butter skill wise, along with his skating, is that shot. Just snaps her. And little surprised that he doesn't have a few more goals at the HL or at the WHL level, but it's funny. Then the next power play, they put him out on the first unit after he scored the goal. And then he tried the exact same shot again. The goalie was prepared this time around. Didn't fall for it, but I don't see a lot of creativity there. Like he's never going to be a big assist guy. There's just it may ultimately be fourth line physical defensive center that chips in the odd goal with a shot. I think might be what you can hope from him down the line. And that's basically what Xhekaj projects to be too, right? Although Xhekaj, I think, may be a little more smarts, a little better playmaker perhaps than this guy. But Papanicus, I would say, is a better skater. Maybe not as consistently abrasive, but there's certainly that element to his game when he puts his mind to it. He can handle himself, he can fight, and he can hit and be a physical force. But what you hope to see from him is that on a more consistent basis, utilize that size, because that's going to be his role if he's going to make it in the NHL. And I think his coach is probably trying to get that through to him right there. Like there's an example of him coming in and just kind of being a bit of a wrecking ball. Like he can do that. It's just, do you see it often enough, right? The second game, which was his first of the playoffs, that's what you want from him, right? I thought he was more competitive. He didn't get a goal, but I like his competitiveness in the first game of the playoffs, and we'll be seeing that after this one. But it wasn't like he lacked physicality in this one either. I just found him a little more consistent with his compete, and that again is going to be what his ticket to the NHL. There was good. I liked his effort on that play. Again, he's not going to be you don't want him to play a pretty game, because he's not skilled enough, smart enough to be a big point producer. It's going to have to be a direct, use that size, use that speed, direct, go to the inside, be conscientious defensively and back check hard, all that stuff. There he went to the net. And that's what he needs to do, that kind of stuff. Not, get to open spots when he does get a scoring opportunity and use his shot and pop a few goals on occasion. But 30, 40 assist guy at the NHL level, it's just, he's not that at the WHL level. He's not, it gives you a good idea that you're not going to be seeing that in the NHL either. But that's fine. He's big. He can fight. He can skate. He can score the odd goal. So there's elements there that we'll give him a shot at being an NHLer. There was a play that he kind of gave the puck away late. They won the game, so it didn't matter so much. But that was one error on his part. But he's playing in an energy line. Like Goisich is a big guy that can hit too, right? And that is a half decent line. But right now it is the third line on Kelowna. And they're, of course, hosting the Memorial Cup this year. Here's game one. And I found him. I like this compete in this one. He's wearing a dark jersey now, number 23. The tall guy, right-handed. Another right-handed center. Actually, I circled the wrong guy there. I was still. He's the big guy in the middle in blue. Dark blue. Here he is coming in on the forecheck. But here. Tried to lay the body, just missed the. Oh, good for that guy getting out of the way, because Papanicus is a pretty big boy. And there, see, that's the kind of, and here he gets around and nails this guy too. So I liked his energy in game one of this series. Kind of helped set the tone, really. That's playoff hockey, right? And that's the style. That's how he played in this game here. And again, coming out and being asked to play that role, and he filled it well, admirably. So the thing is, where he's got a bit of an edge on Xhekaj is a better skater. He's already a better skater than Xhekaj, and a little taller too. So the size skating combo is quite good, and he's pretty smooth too. He's a smoother skater. Technique's a little better than Thorpe's. It's definitely a plus with this kid. The size skating combination is his ticket to the NHL. He just has to keep working on the other parts. There he is there. That was good compete, right? He was working hard in this game, finishing checks, back checking, forechecking, laying a few heavy hits. A decent defensive game. He got in on that. Reversed the puck. That was a smart reverse to the defenseman there. I like when they make you're behind your own goal line and you have to make a quick decision, and he did. And that's not where you want to turn over the puck. But here again, came back on the back check, got down low, sealed off the play. Here he is joining the rush. Gets to the puck first. Good play. Got it in front. He can pass the puck. It's just usually pretty direct, turn around and get it to the front of the net type thing. You will see the occasionally decent pass from him, but I wouldn't call him a playmaker. And there again, he gets on the forecheckers pretty fast. He's rangy. He covers a lot of ice out there. So, like to have those guys at playoff time, right? There's one of the. He can make a decent pass there. Spring the guy in the middle. You see it on occasion when he's cycling with the puck, because he's pretty effective at that with his size at the WHL level. And a couple of years in the AHL after this, and who knows, right? But won't be seeing him in Laval this year unless they go to they go really deep, because he will be on the hosts, Kelowna. This was a decent job. They were protecting a 2-0 lead in this game, and I liked his attention to the defensive detail here. He did a pretty good job of boxing out the fellow center guys from the getting to the net. Stout defensive work from him, protecting a 2-0 lead late in the game that they ended up winning. So, some things to like there. I think he's I think he's a decent NHL prospect. He's not going to. He's not. I don't see middle line upside. It's bottom six, and likely fourth line center is what you can hope to get from him. At best, third line center down the road. But if Kapanen ends up being a third line center, he's not better than Kapanen, so he's not going to be beating out Kapanen for the third line center. If that's what Oliver ends up being, or Hage, or he's not beating out either of those guys. But as far as him versus Xhekaj, it'll be interesting. I think that they ultimately might be competing for that fourth line center role in a couple of years, and what might end up happening is Xhekaj ends up on the wing, and it's a line of like Xhekaj, Thorpe, and Papanicus in 3 or 4 years. That's a possibility, as their 2 or 3 years as their fourth line. Smallest guy would be Xhekaj at 6'3", 220 or whatever. So that would be a nice physical thump line, torpedo line, right? With those three on it. And I think that ultimately might be what we see. Maybe he gets the edge as far as being the center over Xhekaj in the NHL at the NHL level, because he'll be able to keep up with the pace better. I think he is a better skater than Xhekaj, and that's not likely to change. But there you have it. That's a look at Papanicus and how he's been playing so far in the playoffs. I haven't minded his play. I think he's a half decent prospect still. Hey, for a third round pick, if you get an NHLer, you're laughing. So I think he's got, he's got that upside, and the Canadians don't have a lot of those types of prospects. So Dylan Bentley, who they just signed, he's already 24, so undrafted. You'd put him behind Xhekaj, Papanicus, and Thorpe, but that's kind of the four the main guys that are in the mix to play a fourth line role in a couple of years with the Canadians. To a lesser extent, Kandata is also in there, but he's like 28 now. I don't know if that's in the cards for him. He's not a great skater either, but that's a look at Papanicus. So anyone little quiet in here? We're up to 43. No, 43 is not too bad. Hit the like button if you don't mind. I'm not going to go too long here tonight. We'll keep it short and sweet. Habs heading to Jersey. I presume that Dobie will be in nets. Should be a good one. Be nice for them to tie the 8 straight win mark that they had in 2016. Yeah, Middlestat played with Reinbacher. Your podcast is starting too late for me, given time change, so hopefully chat on the weekend. Yeah. Well, like I said, Charles, didn't stay up till 3 a.m. in Scotland to watch Laval. Not much of a fan there, Charles. Come on now, buddy. Very, very bad second period. Simon, you hit it right on. 5 goals against, first time since November 2022 that they allowed 5 goals in a period, and that was against Cleveland. It was a monster period for Cleveland back in 2022. But that was the last time that they allowed 5 goals in a period. And yes, Fowler and Dobish were goaltenders. Fowler was the goalie. They kind of miss him. The tandem that they have right now, they can probably do it. Didier wasn't playing. Engstrom wasn't playing. Fowler obviously is called up. Their two top scorers out of the lineup. Check this out. This is pretty cool. But Dauphin Belzile didn't play tonight. Engstrom, their leading defense scorer. So they were missing some firepower, right? That's my excuse. But this is pretty cool. It just shows you the depth of this team and why they will be tough at playoff time, because they have 14 players with 8 or more goals right now. Now, if 9, obviously, that already have 10 goals, but if Machar can get one more, Tuck can get one more, Kandata, Trudeau, and Delgaizo get 2 more, they'll have 14 players in double digits in goals. Now, I don't know how often that happens, but I'm willing to bet it's not a very common occurrence. And that's pretty impressive scoring depth. Now, they may not have a 30-goal scorer, but they've got a ton of depth there. And it's pretty impressive that they would have 14 skaters with 8 goals, and perhaps by the end of the year, 14 skaters with 10 goals. I think that's pretty impressive. Now, looking at this here, plus minus, Delgaizo, Reinbacher was +1 again tonight, so he's up to plus 19. That's pretty cool, He's missed 13 games, so given his rate there, he would be if you figure that he would be +5 in the 13 games or +4, he'd be He'd be up around plus 23, plus 24 if he played all year and be second on the team to Del Gaizo. So that's for a kid that's played fewer than 100 AHL games. I think that's pretty impressive. That he helps you, certainly helps you a lot more when he's out on the ice than he hurts you. And let's hope that they clinch a spot this weekend and start resting a couple of guys a few games here and there. Maybe bring up Reinbacher for a couple of matches. Give him that look. So he's not the first top 5 pick that doesn't, since Thomas Hickey, not to play before the age of 22. It's not something that you can brag about, really. So what else is happening? Any happenings in the NHL tonight? Any big news? Not a lot of, like I said, Philly beat the Islanders, so the Islanders now only 5 games left. When you look at I'll just bring it back up again here because it's really interesting, but so the Islanders only have 5 games left. So, Ottawa, Columbus, Philly, Ottawa particularly, they have 2 games in hand on the Islanders, so they can pick up 2 points in those 2 games. They hop ahead of them. I think they can probably do that. Detroit's got 2 games in hand on them, so they'll probably hop ahead of the Islanders as they go along here. Columbus, 1 game in hand. So all of those teams can, if they win, right, they move a point ahead of the Islanders. So that was a big loss for them tonight. Huge win for the Flyers to stay in it. I know GJG was on here last night basically waving the white flag for Philly, but that doesn't look to me like they're done. I mean, Craig, it can go a lot of ways here in the last 2 weeks of the season. So great to have that suspense going down the stretch here. Islanders really could fall out of the playoffs pretty easily. Oh yeah, frig. Well, they're 1 point out of 11th, so, and play 2 more games than everybody else. So yeah, quite possible. That's yeah. Montreal will be clinched and rest everyone on the last day and give Philly an in. Well, that's true. We're playing the Flyers to end the season. Who knows? Not everyone will be resting. I know Suzuki won't be sitting out. That's for sure. Hage will probably be playing. Cole, well, we'll see. Hopefully he's not playing because he's still got to hit the 50 mark. All right, here's a question for you. Do you want Cole to get his 50th goal tomorrow, or would you rather that he gets it, he comes back home and gets it at home? There's a question. There's the question of the night. Do you want him to get it out of the way, get it tomorrow night? Or would you prefer that he do it at home and get that crazy ovation that he'll get in front of the Bell Center faithful? Yeah, well, yeah, he could get it tomorrow, but he could still get 55 if he doesn't get it tomorrow. Get the Maurice Richard. Yeah. I want him to do it at home. let's Laugh get his 30th tomorrow. 5 assists for Caufield, 4 goals for Slav. And then next game, and 5 points for Suzuki. And then next game, Suzuki get his 100th point, setting up Caufield at home for his 50th goal. That's what I want. But whatever. I get it, But I'd like to see him do it at home. I think it would be cool. Montreal has not seen a player get 50 goals at home. Like I don't even know if Richer did it, But even if Richer did it at home, that's friggin' 30 years ago. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's not get delusional here. He's not scoring 60. No, I want him to do it at home. 50th goal. All right. I'm with Brando here. Me and Marlon on an island. I thought I was maybe going down to the game on Sunday. Stuart from McLean's Pub texted me DM'd me and asked me if I wanted to go. And at first I said no because that's Sunday Easter dinner and stuff. But apparently, just going to be Tina and me, and she said, we can have it. We can have our Easter supper the next night. So next morning I got in touch with Stu, and it was already too late. So not going down, but I would have liked to have been there Sunday, maybe do a show at McLean's Pub, and if you use, maybe could have even come out and greet the meet and greet thing. But we'll get that done. Maybe at playoff time here coming up. I'd like to get down for one, but I wouldn't mind being in the building to see Montreal's next 50 goal scorer. Even if he does do it tomorrow, then still the ovation that he'd get the next night, the next day in Montreal would be pretty cool. But I don't know. It'd be even cooler to see it in person, 50 goal scorer. But yeah, that's not going to happen now. So that's too bad. But I will make it down for a playoff game, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe, eh? Yeah, maybe Hughes will set him up for one. But I don't know. He's a bit of an odd sort. Probably won't. What else we got here? Checking the Sioux Greyhounds eliminated London Knights, so defending Memorial Cup champs, gone in the first round, 4-1. Brady Martin, goal and 2 assists. Reed with a goal. Jace Reed, good prospect. I saw somebody yesterday or whatever saying Villeneuve. You'd be nuts if Chase Reed goes ahead of Villeneuve. Some guy that calls himself Western Canada scout or something, and it's like, ooh, that isn't going to be happening. Chase Reed will be picked ahead of Xavier Villeneuve in the draft. That I can guarantee you. Not that he doesn't make mistakes on occasion, but so does Villeneuve. Reed's like 6'2", good skater, pretty decent player. Ooh, Gatineau's given Rouen a little better run than they kind of expected, I think. It was 4-1 for Gatineau tonight. They'll be heading back to Gatineau, only down 3-2. A little bit of a surprise there. Good for Gatineau. They're hanging in against, that's the 8th seed against the 1st seed in the queue. So, that's interesting. I would assume that they're, who did they have in nets? Let's see the lineups here. Yeah. The Russian kid in nets, so playing pretty well. He might get drafted here. But that's that series is not over, folks. Somebody's saying, "Oh, what are you talking about the CHL last night?" Well, because it's going on right now. Thursday, the Frozen Four gets going, and we'll talk. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll talk. College hockey. Sherbrooke goes up 3-2. They beat Shawinigan 6-1 tonight. So that series isn't over yet. Nice to have some close series in the queue this year. Charlottetown beats Quebec. 3-2 final. They're up 3-2. So lots of series going, at least 6. Not like the OHL, where there were lots of sweeps. And Newfoundland goes up. They lost, so they're up 3-2. So yet another series that is going to a 6th game in the queue. Nice to see some parity in the queue this year, too. Drummondville, Val-d'Or won it tonight, so they take it in 5. They win 5-3 over Drummondtown. And, of course, in the in the OHL tonight, Just Sioux, they win the series in 5. And in the WHL, Saskatoon, Edmonton has their hands full with Saskatoon. Series tied 2-2. Saskatoon's up 3-2 late in the 3rd. Was assuming that it would be Edmonton facing Medicine Hat in the 2nd round, the 2nd and 3rd seeds, but it might end up upsetting the apple cart there in the East Division, Eastern Conference. Red Deer, Prince Albert tied 2-2, so Red Deer's not Prince Albert's obviously the big favorites there, but it's 3-2, sorry, Prince Albert. But that series is a little tighter than maybe folks thought too. Yeah, so that's up to date on some of the out of town scoreboards. Like I say, it's a bit of a quiet one on this Good Friday. Not like some other sports where they play a lot more. All right, we don't have anybody chiming in here with much to say, so I'll wrap it up there, folks. A little bored, not much hockey going on today, so I did a video on Papanicus, and I was curious to see how our second line compared to the others in the NHL. Yeah. Nelson, Landeskog, Nikushkin, 2.2. Point Getsko, Con, Salvas. Yeah. It's kind of hard to do it with Francois. Like, what if you substitute Newhook for Cappy there? You almost have to look up Cappy's Slaff's stats on that line, right? Because Newhook, frig, he missed half the year. So it's not really, like that should be higher. Because Slaff had more points per game playing with that line than Newhook has playing with that line. So when you consider that, they're probably right. They're right there with them. So, yeah. This thought that, it's not going to be a good second line until Kapanen gets replaced. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. There aren't that many 22-goal scoring centers in the NHL that aren't first liners. There aren't that many second line centers that scored more than 20 goals. Handful. Cappy's one of them. Thank you, Donald, for your $5 donation. I didn't know that you were on board here. It's always nice to get a little bit of cash for a podcast, even if I am going to keep it under an hour for a change. So there, I made $5. I might make $5 anyways this hour. I like to make $5 an hour. As fun as it is, it's kind of, a third of the minimum wage is, or a quarter or whatever, but 40 people on board here. With just an extra year of experience for Demi and Cappy, they could catch these other lines. More ice time at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, again, Newhook's only played a fraction of the season with that line. So, if you consider Slav, they had some big games with Slav when they first came over. So, they're right there with them points per game if you add it up using Slav, but that would take a fair bit of work. Thank you, Don. I appreciate you. I appreciate your insight, and appreciate all you folks putting up with me. All right. Well, we're down to 35 people in the chat here now, and so folks aren't. Hey, it's Good Friday. I realize folks are tied up tonight, so I just wanted to get this, get something out. I'm trying to do a daily podcast, so trying to get something out here every day, right? I've got 39. It says 39 here now. Okay. Good stuff. Look, I'll be on tomorrow after the New Jersey game. Do a post game. I hope you can join me tomorrow night. There's my two sponsors, Next Level Hockey, Bonashare Caves. I'll be giving them a plug tomorrow night. Check out their websites, Next Level Hockey. Go to the, Next Level Hockey. Go to their Instagram, as I've been asking, at Next Level Hockey _ and hit the subscribe button, okay? And do the same here if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, press that like button, and I appreciate it all. Okay, gotta go. Thank you, everyone, for this shortened podcast, and I appreciate you on the Good Friday even tuning in. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow night after the game. And Kevin, Montreal, Boston, first round. Yes. definitely. I love it. Thanks, Descriptive Music. Yeah, they're not paying a lot for those sponsors, but hey, a little bit's better than nothing, right? Till we land the big fish, hopefully this month with the playoffs coming up. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.